A 1/8 scale Exceed RC rock crawler. I didn't think I would actually see a day like this come where I would have an Exceed RC put up on the bench again, because the last one I worked with was the Mad Bash. I bashed that thing right into the ground. It was a lot of fun. I've been focused on other brands and stuff, and other brands can get fairly costly. And a lot of the viewers I have send me comments that say, Medic, I'm on a really low budget, I've got like 220 bucks, or I've got 200 bucks or less. What's the best RC I can get? My other video producers that are into RC will understand that this is a very tough question to answer, because it really depends on what area you want to get into. And in this hobby, you want to make sure to get the best value for your dollar. So I've always kind of backed off that, because there's several RCs that you can get. But I may have been able to solve this with this video, hopefully. Now, recently I went down to the Los Angeles area in California in the USA, and while I was in the area, I met with Nitro RCX, who's a distributor. This is not a paid video, this is totally independent. I'm doing this just for fun because I saw something cool that I know the RC adventurous are going to enjoy. One of the research and developers, R&D guys, named James, what's up James, pulled out a 5th scale crawler, a 1/5 scale crawler. That is a large beast. It's not in production, you can't buy it. In fact, I did a video about it. Maybe I can put it in right here. I did a video about it. If you guys want to check it out, you'll have to check the playlist or wherever, you know. But it impressed me so much, I had to get them to send me an RTR kit. The 5th scale crawler that he built is really the epitome of why I started RC to begin with. He took something that was relatively inexpensive, and by adding some spare parts, he made something very, very cool. And that was the 5th scale crawler. Now, it is entry level. You do have to do upgrades to it if you wanted to make it even better than it is already. But I see a lot of potential with something like this. Now granted, other companies do make 5th scale crawlers. They've been around for a while. In fact, you can even get a 1/4 scale crawler. And since this is not paid, I don't mind saying you can get it at RC 4-wheel drive. That's one of the companies that makes them. But at the same time, the cost level on what I'm about to show you is substantially different. This right here on the website at the date of this filming is about 200 bucks. So it's right in line with what I always get asked. What can I do for 200 bucks? Comes with an entry-level radio. This is just a little door on the back to help you with your trims and your dual rates and whatnot. Okay, it weighs nothing. It's like a half a pound, but it is digital, so you don't really have to worry about a lot of interference. Ready to run. Comes with the body on top. Comes with all the electronics here. All the electronics inside. Check it out. Battery comes already done. Battery comes with ultra plugs, or Dean's connectors as they're also commonly known as. Brushed motors. Now they're no-name motors. Don't know who makes them, you know. But for ready to run model, everything coming in there with these giant springs on there. Check this out. Look how much twist you can get. Wow, that's a lot of articulation. Not like you need that all the time, but that's pretty cool. Okay. These axles and motor on axle configuration means there's no drive shafts. Look at this. Here is the chassis plate. Both sides, that's it. That's all there is to it. Couple of reinforcement bars. Piece of cake. Alright, so I put the bit in the end of my drill. You guys can find bits that fit in the end of your drill probably at your hobby store or online. Basically, I'm going to just undo the back portions, right? I want to make sure to unhook all these areas, because the purpose will be to attach a secondary chassis plate. Now hold on. Whoop. Alright. Let's move body posts back here. Everything's, you can separate everything now. Once you unplug the motor itself, it's a piece of cake just to move out of the way. So here's where I'll reintroduce these chassis plates, right? Same thing. I'm going to want to take the bolt extensions that I have right here. These are just cross member beams from the middle, and screw them in where I want them in place. Remember, if you do use a drill of some sort, I always have the torque setting on real low, right? Because you don't want to strip out your bolts. There we go. Beauty. All right, so I'm putting the tires on for a reason. You guys are going to want to see these tires on to understand how large they are. Bonus is the kit comes, or the RTR comes with a hex nut wrench. Okay, now there's a reason why I'm doing this. You'll also see that underneath the drill there, I've dropped down the battery plate and where the electronics go. Excuse me while I cross in front of the camera. There is a reason for this. Now, a lot of people say to me, Medic, you know, I want a real scale crawler. If you want a scale crawler, it usually means it's not jacked up very high, and vehicles like this without a full ladder frame are difficult to make look scale, right? Because these are really manufactured to look not only like a competition rock crawler, but also like a monster truck. Now, the way I've set up the suspension and the links here, apart for the middle part that I'll be putting in the middle, obviously, I left it nice and low. That way, if the scale guys out there want to say, hey, I want to throw a 5th scale body on there I made that's scale, that way it's not jacked up so high. There you go. Look at how much clearance you have here. Not very much, okay? You can even see by the size of my hand. But this still gets you nice and low down to the ground, if that's what you want, because you're rock crawling. In fact, with the chassis plate and the nice open area here, if you left this up front and gave the motor wires an extension, you'd have all this open area where you're climbing over rocks and jagged edges could just go in between. You wouldn't be running it on anything, you know what I mean? But, here, let me cross in front of the camera again. Sorry about that. That's, you know, I hate crossing in front of the camera, but times like this, it's important to show you both sides of the rig. So now with these on here, with a crawler, for me at least, if I'm going with, hey, I'm over here. Hey, if I need to be going over rocks and stuff, I want to have it jacked up a little bit. Okay, so it's just that easy. You can see that I've actually undone some of the links and moved them around a little bit. I'm going to do it for you on camera over here so the folks that are building this with me can easily see where things are going, okay? So this side is still stock, or the way it was when it was stock, and this side has been moved. This side is now the front, okay? It was always the front, but with the tires on, you can't really see the servo. So I'm going to cross in front of the camera. Just to easily go around, I've already loosened up these areas so I can show you quickly, okay? So pay attention to these links right here on the front. They actually moved 3 holes back. These holes are already in the chassis plate. That's what I love about this project, okay? So we got to undo the back links first, because one on either side. This is one of the big changes. This inside round link actually goes to the hole on the inside of the bottom chassis. I know this is probably boring for the folks that aren't building this, but I gotta show you the simplicity of what's actually happening. So I'm just gonna undo that quickly. I loosened all these so we could just go ahead and try to move swift for the folks that are just here to see a neat build. We'll move that forward. You can see how easily everything rolls around when it's simply undone, right? So here we go, kind of move that into place. Third one over, move that into place. Okay, making sure that the hex driver is on the outside, the head of the screw. Moving those to the inside. Now, this part up here actually moved from up in the corners all the way down into the inside here. So I will do that. But first what I'm going to do is attach the inside links so we have enough clearance here. So I'll show you what I mean on the other side once I get this just popped in with this nut on the back. There we are. And same here. So you're using the inside 2 holes where there's 3 on the direct outside of the hole you're using. There's enough jokes in there to last a lifetime. Okay, so everything, the posts, I have changed this. The posts are out to fit the body properly. Also, I went ahead and installed the bottom electronics and battery plate, okay? There are 2 screws on either side. Let's have a closer look here so the folks that are building along with me can actually see. There are 2 screw mounts that we took out either side, so here and here. Now, obviously with this being in the middle with 2 chassis, it was never designed to do this, so I used part number, where did it go? Right here, 98090, in case you need to see it. 98090, okay? So this is just simply a turnbuckle, or a turnbuckle with some rod ends on it, okay? Really straightforward. If I wanted to extend this to full length, I could use this top bolt or screw right here. But since I have one on hand and I'd like a little bit more support, I'm actually going to use a longer screw in a different position. Okay, lots of jokes in here today. I know off the back plate, since I'm actually putting the support screw up here, I'm going to use the rod ends and turnbuckle up over here. The holes are there already, and I'm going to have it on a diagonal. So I've got the drill standing by, make sure the wrench is in place, and away we go. Careful not to over torque it. You don't want to strip anything out, especially when you're doing a brand new build. So now we'll back it up again. Backing it up. Looks nice, hey? I wish I could give you guys some sort of scale, like how big this thing actually is. If you guys have seen my waterproofing videos, you know I use a product called Plastidip. Check this out. No problem. Okay, and to give you some size against a Plastidip, if you've never used that before, you guys have all seen red Solo cups, right? Look how large it is here. Look how small it is here. This is actually a beast, right, by itself. Goliath, basically. This is my Project Goliath. All right, so look at the large scale realism here. Well, realism in the fact that it's a real RC. Like I'm totally thrilled with this because it's a Frankenstein beast. This body that we have here was not designed to fit on this. This goes to a 5th scale. I think it's called a Hannibal, I think. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. With this being the front, I had to re-drill holes, right? Because the holes aren't going to line up right. The front ones will. The back ones, I actually had to go in and do some new holes in the back. Okay, so the initial build is basically finished. This would be it stock, you know what I mean? Like this is no upgrade parts or anything like that. I made sure to put the batteries into the remote. You can see there's plenty of power, red and green light ready to go. Take off the body, turn it on, let it whistle for you guys. Let's see, I haven't done this yet. Where's the on off button? Right in the back. Let's go. Nice, it sings to you a little bit. Okay, everything's plugged in. Put these body posts back on, like so. People ask me about the bodies, how do I actually drill the holes in the back? Really simple, actually. I use a drill bit, not a big deal. So now that I have everything going, I don't want to do a dry steer on here. Nice, that looks good, man. Who am I talking to? Me, I guess. That looks good. Forward and backward. Let's go forward. Excellent. Now, people are going to say, how fast does it go? This is a crawler. It goes slow on purpose. It's got torque. It's got power to twist those tires. Does it go backwards? Yeah, forward, backward, 4x4, dry steer. Excellent. All right. So now I have a 5th scale crawler. So let's put my Plastidip under there, my waterproofing. Look at that. Here, you guys know Solo cup. Look how big that is. Look at. Here's a full-size drill to give you some scale. Bigger than the remote, which is full-sized remote. Hopefully that gives you guys some idea how big this beast is. And how long did it take me to build? Not very long. Basically what I did on camera. I had to do a couple of takes over because I do a show for you guys. Want to make sure it's full of information. But at the same time, you guys could get into this, I think, for, you know, like, let's estimate the costs together. It's $200 at the time of this filming for the 8 scale kit. Not sure how much the chassis plates are and the body. That's basically what I needed. A few nuts and bolts, that's it, like a cross member. So I'm gonna average, let's just say I even spent $300 on this total. That's an amazing deal for something like this. So, you know, what can I say? Let me back up. Here, I'll do my Jerry Springer final thoughts. You know, hey, here's all the messy studio. And me in the corner. So I've been yip-yapping all the way about this, and hopefully this gives you an idea. It's not stock. You can't purchase this the way it is at the moment, right? Like, they don't make this. But it's all pieces that we're laying around. There it is, 200 bucks, plus some upgraded parts if you wanted to spend the extra. It's the body that's going to cost you, right? Or if you have a body that's perfect. And you can upgrade for $100. So, amazing. Lots of stuff you can do with it, I say, for stock, and for all the folks that are wondering how to get into RC, there's an opportunity. So hopefully that helps you guys figure out where you guys want to go. If you want to try out a 5th scale, here's the way to do it nice and cheap. You guys are going to see more of this, obviously, while I'm working with it and like having fun and going out in the rocks. And really, I'm going to check it out for boulder climbing. You know, no more 10 scale rock climbing. I'm going to go out and try to do a bit of boulder. And you know what? It's not going to be perfect. I already know that right off the bat. I already know that I'm going to have to tweak things because this is entry level. But that's what we were going for at the beginning of the build. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have questions, comments, all that neat stuff, I'll do the very best I can to answer in the comment section below. And if you got a video response you want to post up below just to get some extra views, because this video will get seen, go ahead and it'll just automatically be approved. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show, and you can always check out RCSparks.com. There's a great community there. See you guys next time.